So we are live, sir. Very good morning to all. It is our great pleasure to have you all for the Knowledge 4.0 webinar series, which is one of the unique initiative of Chennai Institute of Technology under the guidance of our Honorable Chairman, Mr. P. Sriram, a successful first-generation entrepreneur, a well-known industrialist, Managing Director of MK Group of Companies. Under Knowledge 4.0 webinar series, we have been conducting webinar series such as Technical Webinar Series, Research Webinar Series, Career Guidance Webinar Series, and Innovation Webinar Series. Chennai Institute of Technology was established in 2010 by our Honorable Chairman, Mr. P. Sriram. Now our institute is the second position in Tamil Nadu in the November-December 2019 results by Anna University, Chennai. Today, we have Mr. Maran Nagarajan, CEO, Kaar Technologies, for the theme of Students to Professional. What does it take? So, we thank you very much for accepting our request and being for this webinar, sir. We welcome you, sir. It's my happy and pleasure moment to welcome our chairman, Mr. P. Sriram, and I welcome him to say a few words about the webinar. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon for all the participants, and my sincere thanks. And once again, I welcome on behalf of me, on behalf of this institution, on behalf of the students and faculty who are attending this webinar, Mr. Maran. Thank you, sir, for being with us. And we have a high regard for our organization, not only me, and many institutions and managements, especially TPOs, and also student community. So they are all having dream to get placed in your organization. It shows the commitment and organizations. Since your organization, I am seeing for the past 5 years, it's growing, and also like before this seminar, a few minutes before we were discussing, I can understand your commitment towards your organization and building human capital. Thank you very much for such a commitment towards people. Any organization, all the organizations depends on how they are treating their employees. So since your organization is more concerned and you are expecting some kind of commitment from the employees also, I'm sure in forthcoming years also you will become one of the leaders in your chosen field. Thank you very much for spending your time. I'm sure not only me, all the participants also expecting a lot from you to understand about the industry expectation, how they can, students can transform from the student to corporate, to enter into corporate, how they have to equip different kinds of skills. As you said, the leadership qualities, commitment towards the organization's growth goals, that's all more important. Thank you very much. I'm sure you would have you would have got some other work also. In spite of that, you are spending your time. Thank you very much for being with us, sir. Thank you. Balat, you can.
Thank you so much, sir, for your motivation to conduct the webinar series in effective and successful manner. To say a few words about Mr. Nagarajan, the Maran Nagarajan, he is a class of 94 batch production engineer from PhD Technology, Coimbatore, worked for 2 years in Compton Series, Ahmedabad, and Zubair Group in Oman, and AkzoNobel, Netherlands for 7 years. He founded Kaar Technology along with his friends and classmates Ratna Kumar, Mr. Selva Kumar, and Mr. George in 2006. Kaar Tech is a focused SAP consulting organization having 750 plus employees, operates in more than 9 countries, and they are the market leader in GCC in SAP consulting. Kaar Tech reached a revenue of 200 crore within a decade thanks to the passionate, relentless, and committed leadership of the founders. The awards such as Vodafone Ready for Big League, ICICI Crystal Best ITES SME Award, DNB 100 Best SME, etc. Many gold, silver, and bronze awards for SAP implementations. Being a first-generation entrepreneur, believes in working for the cause of entrepreneurship in Tamil Nadu. He is a frequent speaker on entrepreneurship in various forums and media. He serves as a General Council member of CHI. Also, he serves as a Regional Council member of NASCAM and Angel Investor in Christo Angel Forum. He is the founder of trustee of Kaar Arakattalai, a trust which works for the cause of education and has supported more than 3,000 students for their education. His personal interest is like avid reader, and he is a strong patron of Tamil language. We are happy to have you for this wonderful forum, and over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Balamulli. Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman, Mr. Sriram. Just before I commence, is the audio check good? Am I audible well?
Yes, sir. Perfectly okay, sir.
Wonderful. Excuse the setting in which I'm sitting. I'm sitting in my native in Dindigul, in my parents' place, in a almost semi-village, semi-town kind of setup. So this is the best backdrop I could get. So thank you very much for putting up with it. Thank you, Mr. Balamulli. And before I proceed, I really would like to say something which really touched me. The first thing is the way Mr. Sriram carried himself in terms of looking at our organization and the level of detail he was precisely remembering with respect to who got placed in our company. And if I understand, more than 2,000 students are in your institution, and if somebody remembers those 2 students who got placed in our organization, that's kudos to you, sir. I'm really a lot of respect to you. That shows the care with which you care for your institution. It's immense. So, and you being a first-gen entrepreneur, all my respects to you. And you also are an entrepreneur by yourself. And in spite of that, the attention you're putting in academics and enriching the people is really impressive. So, the one incident that you showed me tells me how deeply you take your organization and your institution. So your students are fortunate. I'm so happy to hire people from your organization. And another thing is, I also congratulate you for coming in the second position in the past, in the recent exams, how it has been conducted. So congratulations to you also on the great success. And even on this, how during a pandemic, there are so many institutions, for example, even government institutions, they're checking with their students, hey, do you have internet? Do you have mobile? Do you have Zoom? Can you connect? You know, this is like the level of unpreparedness. But whereas I see that your hundreds of thousands of students have been benefiting by your webinar series. So very commendable act, Mr. Sriram and Mr. Balamulli. All my respects to you for your great institution. And there are alumni working from your organization in our company. And when you talked about it, it's again, so there is a girl called as Nivedita working in our organization. Is absolutely one of the best of the top-notch person. Strong commitment, leadership, whatever we expect as an organization, she delivers beautifully. So she carries herself with lots of respect. She added a lot of pride to your organization, and I'm sure all the people whom we hire also do good and bring repute to your organization. So very, very happy to be associating with CIT, and I wish every good luck to every single student who's listening and in this webinar as well. With this set of few words, I would like to go for a PowerPoint series. I will share my screen, but before I start sharing the screen, I'm not sure if you can see. Yes, now I share the screen. Yes. Can any one of you confirm that the screen is visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Awesome. Thank you. Good. So when they asked me for what to address the students, I picked up this topic of student to a professional. What does it take? Now, every one of you, I was not long ago was in a position like you as a student in the PSG College of Technology in Coimbatore. So I have been through the similar kind of sentiment, similar kind of aspiration, similar kind of longingness, a lot of anxiety about the future, a lot of confidence about the future, self-confidence, a little bit challenged, all kinds of mixed emotions goes through when you're in the college. So that's the similar kind of experience we have been through as well. But then those days were, pre-internet, BI, there is what we call as before Christ and after Christ. There is before internet and after internet. So you can say 1998 can be the defining year, when the year can be called as before internet and after internet. And most of you guys are not even born then. So, you know, all of you guys are born digital natives. So the world has completely changed from the day since I was born, and since I was in college, and the day you guys are in college. So it's very important that it's important to connect with you guys, because you belong to a different world and we belonged to a different world. But there are certain principles which are golden, which stays forever. Life can change, centuries may pass, but certain golden principles never change. So those are the things that I thought I would share with you. And these are all the principles we live in our company. We walk, talk, breathe these principles. These are not something I just simply preach you. These are something which we live. We look forward. This is what we live. This is what we respect. This is what we cherish. This is what we respect. So don't think this is just some cookbook of internet assembled list of items. No, this is what we believe in, and this is what we live by. So let me share what we live by. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Yes, as I mentioned to you, Gen Z, you guys are called as the Generation Z. Gone are the days of the millennials. We were called as the generation of the baby boomers, after which came the millennials, after which came Gen Z. What makes it different for Gen Z? Because this has completely flattened the world. Like Thomas Friedman says, there is a excellent book, World is Flat, by Thomas Friedman. And Thomas Friedman is a New York Times columnist and excellent author, excellent journalist. And when he points out, the world has flattened, which means the world is not round anymore. Round means a little bit of an imbalance between one and the other. But then the world has become really flat. Why? Because of the internet. Today, anyone in any corner of this world can aspire to become anything, and anywhere they can make it happen. That's the power today the world has become. So for Gen Z, nothing is impossible. For your generation, nothing is impossible. Nothing is difficult to achieve. Nothing is difficult to grasp. In my days when I used to be a student, I'm sure the same statements you would have heard from your father, your mother, your grandfather, but still I have to make the statement. When in my college days or in my school days, if I have to get a book, there was only one library in our whole town. We have to walk 6 kilometers to reach that library, and we get only one book or maximum 2 books. And that 2 books, again, you have to return within 7 days. So that's the only window of knowledge to the world. There is no other window of knowledge to the world. There is no other way we could understand anything. Today, no matter what, the moment you want to know about something, immediately you take your smartphone, touch on the Google, you raise a question, you get an answer, you move on with it. You don't even care. So today the information has been shattered. So it's a flat world. Anybody can know about anybody. Anybody can understand anything. Any subject you want to know, you can know. So that's the power of Gen Z. So this offers you a tremendous potential. This offers you tremendous possibilities and opportunities for you to succeed. But not everything comes to somebody's grasp. Only when you ask for it will you get it. Even with abundance of opportunity, there are only people who are willing to shape themselves, people who are willing to chisel themselves, people who are willing to mold themselves to get anything they want are the ones who get that. So it's not for everyone. It is for those who are willing to do the right things to achieve what they want to achieve. So that's what is all about. I'm going to talk about. Okay. So if you want to accomplish anything, there are no limitations. But then first thing is you want to accomplish. You have to desire to accomplish. You have to have an innate desire to get that done. That's what I'm going to talk about. First and foremost, so I'm going to articulate you the culture we live by. As an organization, we value friendship a lot. Friendship is one of the fundamental tenets of our organization, of Kaar Tech. Kaar Tech was founded by four of us, along with me and three more engineers, all of us from the PSG Tech, Coimbatore. We were all friends, we were all classmates, we were all hostel mates, we were all college mates, we were all absolute buddies. We had all kinds of fun together. We went to college together. We literally had all kinds of fun together. So the friendship which was forged when we were in the college hostel is what brought us together. And that is the strengthening force which is holding us even today, no matter what the storms of life are, no matter what the furies of this life are. That friendship, that bondage which was formed then is what is holding us glued even today. So, what I would like to tell here is please learn to develop friendship. Friendship is not simply about having fun alone. Friendship is about standing for one another. When one person is down, that if you are able to step in for him, that's friendship. If you are able to give up something for your friend, that is friendship. If you are able to achieve something together, that is friendship. So espousing the principle called as all for one and one for all is called as friendship. So this quote, this is something which we hold it very dear in our organization. This is based on Alexander Dumas. Please do research. I will be talking about many books throughout this webinar series. So people who are interested can take note of it, read those books. They're all inspirational books. So take note of them. I'm sure you will enjoy them. So this is based on the book of Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas. He's a French author, and he talks about, based on the French Revolution stories, how the Charles King was overthrown. So there he talks about three musketeers, three people who protect the king's life. So how they forge a friendship between those three people, and how each one of them works so cohesively, and how one of them would give their even life for the other two. So that's what it means, all for one, one for all. So when you work together as a team, when you work together as a friends, when you work together as one and the same, what you can achieve is tremendous. I'm telling you, is life therapeutic. This friendship healing, this friendship is enjoyment, this friendship is life. So this is the time, dear friends and dear students, invest on your friendship, work on your friendship. It takes time, energy, sacrifice to cultivate friendship. Like people say it's an instant hit. People may say any kind of thing. There are instant hit friendships. There are lifetime friendships. So you have all kinds of friendships which develop, but then please invest. It's one of the major investments that you can ever make for your life. Build your friendship. Okay, this is what we respect big time in our company. The culture number two that we give a lot of respect to is humility. In the book called as Good to Great by Jim Collins. Again, this is another fantastic book, How Organizations Function. Students can learn a lot from this. He talks about what makes the leadership in organizations. He studies thousands of companies, and then he analyzes all the CEOs who really made a difference for their companies. And then he figures out one beautiful characteristic called as level 5 leadership. That level 5 leadership is nothing but a paradoxical blend of extraordinary professional will and an extreme personal humility. I repeat it for you. It's a very complicated statement, very profound statement, extremely difficult to understand. So for your purpose, I'll really repeat both. In the Good to Great book, Jim Collins talks about level 5 leadership. He talks about the paradoxical blend. The paradoxical blend means opposite characteristics. What seemingly is not gelling straight. So the paradoxical blend is, it's an opposite characteristics. What are those opposite characteristics? extraordinary professional will, which means the determination to succeed your organization to a highest level. Whatever mission you're taking, the determination to succeed. That's called as the professional will, blended with an extraordinary personal humility, which means, what is humility? Humility is nothing but humbleness. The ability to dissolve yourself and the ability to give it to others. That's called as humbleness. That's called as humility. So he says, if you can have this paradoxical blend of professional will and personal humility, nobody can stop you from becoming a leader. So practice this, students. So learn to give it to others. When I say this, it's also important I narrate one beautiful story. You must have seen this WhatsApp video, but still it's an interesting story. This is a story of Abdul Kalam. He talks about this in his rustic language, rustic English, that he has a very typical style of narrating this. And in that, he talks about his project director experience when he was launching rockets. You know, all of us know that Abdul Kalam is one of the most humble persons. When he was a project director for SLV-3 rocket. So SLV-3 is a rocket that India launched, and Abdul Kalam happened to be the project director. So, you know, the first time India launched SLV-3, they worked hard for 3 years. They put together a rocket, they launched it. Unfortunately, like Kalam said, the rocket was so patriotic, it came back to India, which means it fell in the Bay of Bengal. So it was a phenomenal, it was a huge failure. So when the failure happened, you know what happened? Vikram Sarabhai was the head of ISRO then, you know, ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. So he was the head of ISRO. And Vikram Sarabhai called Abdul Kalam and said, it's okay, you failed. I mean, it's not you, the project failed. The rocket went to the Bay of Bengal. Don't worry, there are thousands of people waiting there. All the press members are waiting. And Abdul Kalam was literally crying. And Abdul Kalam was literally shivering how he's going to face those thousands of reporters. How is he going to answer to the nation? How is he going to answer to those reporters? There are all kinds of, how is he going to face the people? There's so much of trust and faith placed on him. You know what Vikram Sarabhai does? He says, don't worry, come sit with me. And he takes the complete the press meet and tells the press meet, today we failed. The rocket launch failed. And we are not going to leave it at this, we will succeed. He just says this and then he leaves the press meet. So he completely took the blame for one of his team members on his own head. So that was leadership. That is not where it stops. The funny thing is, after 2 years, the project again takes off, the SLV-3 is launched, and this time again Abdul Kalam is the project director, and this time around the rocket succeeds to launch itself. And this time around, Vikram Sarabhai calls again Abdul Kalam and says, hey Kalam, go ahead and do your press meet yourself. So he doesn't go for the press meet, but he asks Abdul Kalam to go for the press meet. You know the beautiful thing that Vikram Sarabhai did? When the failure came, he took it on his head, and then when the success came, he gave it to Kalam. So this is an extraordinarily difficult characteristic to practice. Just imagine, try this for yourself. How you can give up on your success and take on the failures. It's very easy said than done. Try it. It's so difficult to practice. But we as a company, we respect this trait. So this doesn't come in one day. It's a lifelong practice. Even I never claim to have this completely. But when you have the ability to give it to the others, take the failures on you and give the success to others, you've got humility, right? So work on this, practice on this. The third culture that we respect in our organization big time is work ethic. What is work ethic? Work ethic is nothing but discipline. Work ethic is nothing but doing the right thing and doing the thing for the sake of doing it, doing the mundane things, doing the rut, doing the not so exciting things. Spending time with friends and having fun time is always exciting. Playing PUBG, even more exciting. Going to movies, theaters, party, all of these are exciting. But work, study, it's boring. It's irritating. It is not, unable to focus. We are not able to focus on work because it's just boring. It doesn't excite us. The ability to make peace with the things which doesn't excite you is called work ethic. Unfortunately, this ability to work in peace with the mundane, rut, repetitive hard work will only give you the exciting glory moments. All of us see only the exciting glory moments. Somebody takes a state first in the 10th or 12th standard, everybody talks about them. There is TV channels, there is newspapers, parents, colleagues, everybody talks about them. Yeah, right. But nobody talks about the hard work they did every single day when they were in the school. That's the same thing which works for every Olympic athlete. We only see the glorious moments of when they take that medal, when they take the cup, when they take the shield. That is when we see their glory. But what goes behind is the mundane work and the everyday workout of that sports personality. So the ability for you to build peace with your rut, with your mundane, with your ritualistic, with your repetitive work is called discipline, and that's called as work ethic. So don't tell me that you don't study because it's not exciting. It is not exciting. It is never exciting. Your ability to make peace with that not exciting thing and staying committed and putting your hard work is called as work ethic. And that's what makes the difference, team. That's what makes the difference, students. So no other choice. You have to figure out a way how you can make peace with them. So building work ethic is very, very important. Many of the colleges asks us, why are you putting such a high insistence on academics? Did Steve Jobs go to college? Did Bill Gates go to college? You see, there is only one Steve Jobs in this world. There is only one Bill Gates in this world. So there are a million failures for one random freak success. The kind of work ethic they had on something else, you don't see the other side of it. It's something absolutely different. The kind of, if you read the book of 10,000 Hours Principles of Malcolm Gladwell, he talks about Bill Gates, how he spent 24 hours a day of 24 hours a day coding and working on the coding. So it's the discipline of working extremely hard on something which really matters. If you're working something like that on something, yes, the academics may not matter. I'm okay with it. But then if you're not working on something which is so crazy like how Bill Gates worked for in coding, then you better build your academics right. So get your academics right. So that's when I will say academics do matter. That talks about your ability to prioritize on the discipline. Yeah, this might be sounding a little bit boring, guys, but unfortunately, you know, anything good comes out of boringness only. Boringness is what builds enduring, beautiful, lovely phenomena. For example, you go and watch a movie. Either it is a Kamal Hassan movie or a Rajni movie or Vijay movie or Ajit movie, doesn't matter. There are Kamal movies where they go through shots of, let's say, 10-second shots, 10-second frame. They go for 20, 30, 40 shots to achieve that perfection for the 10 seconds. So they build a movie of 2.5 hours, but they shoot it for 2.5 months. Hours together, they build that shooting. So it takes lots and lots and lots of hard work to get to that fantastic output. So don't think the glory comes easy. The glory comes out of extraordinary difficulty. So be prepared. So your work ethic is extremely important. The next thing that I'd like to talk about is the culture 4 is be the best version of you. You have to aspire to be the best, no matter what. It can be the simplest of the tasks that you do. If you cannot, even if you're going to a lab for one lab or lab, it doesn't matter. You have to do the experiment with the same sincerity that nobody has done it better than you. So that's the level of devotion. That's the level of extraordinary commitment with which you do each thing that you do. You may be playing your football, you may be playing your hockey, you may be playing your volleyball, you may be playing your cricket, your athletics, or your coding, or your project, or your lab work, or the book that you read, or anything. It just doesn't matter. But whatever you do, be best of what you do. So this is what I'll tell you why being the best matters. I'll give you 3 examples on this. One is you must have heard about the author Robin Sharma, Leader Without Title. In that book, Robin Sharma talks about an old lady who's a sweeper in one of the small counties in the US. But this lady, she's around 75 years old, but every day in the morning, she comes to the street, no matter what, whether it is snow, rain, sun, doesn't matter. She's on the street, sweeping and cleaning the street and making sure the street sparkles. That's the kind of commitment she has. And one time, one of them asks, "Hey, why are you with all this? What is your motivation to do what you're doing?" And that lady says, "I want to be the best sweeper in the world." So this might look funny. Why would a sweeper want to be the best sweeper in the world? Because she just wants to be the best. There is no reason for being the best. There is just no excuse for not being the best. There is no reason. It's an inherent desire, inherent, innate ask and the need of every individual it should be. So you should always not do it for an external reason, but for an innate desire to be the best. When you aspire to be the best, glory is coming your way. There is no second thought about it. So always aspire to be the best and be the best version of you. And every day you have to make a different version of yourself. As Virat Kohli says, be the better version of yourself every day. Yesterday what you are, today what you are, be the better version of yourself. That way you keep improving, and at one point there is nobody to beat you. You can ask me why, what is the whole point of being like this? What is the whole use of being like this? I will give you one example that all of you know very well. You know your mothers, right? Your moms. If you ask your mom every single day when she makes that dish that you love the most, every day she asks you for a feedback and says, "How was it? Is the salt good? Is the spice good? Is the taste good? Is it better today?" And every day you eat it, it's always getting better and better and better and better and better. And what brings the motivation for a mother to be the best cook you must have ever seen? Why is that? For everyone here, without doubt, your mother is the best cook. So there is no second thought about it, right? So why does the mother become the best cook? Because it's a lifelong pursuit for them to be the best. They keep improvising, they keep taking feedback, they keep improving it, they keep making it best. And why does the mom? Is the world going to recognize her? No. Is anybody going to come and give an award? No. But why does she keep doing that? It's the innate drive, innate desire to be the best. So please, students, look for that, search for that. How do you get that innate to be the best? And that's what is going to take you to the glory point. And that's what we appreciate in our company too. This is a culture we really love and we encourage and pamper. There is one more, the next culture that we really encourage and pamper is the decide courageously and stay accountable. It is many times people shun away from taking decisions. It is only in a crisis that people take, or people are expected to take decisions. That's what calls for your courage. You have to take decisions that are going to decide the future, and you cannot run away from it. You have to own those decisions. You have to be accountable for those decisions. Such moments will keep coming every time. Why I say this is there are people who keep on making excuses. They'll say all the failures, any decisions they make, they will hold their parents accountable, their siblings, their friends, their teachers, their professors, everybody's reason except themselves. So staying accountable is a profound capability, guys. So you just cannot shun away your responsibility. You have to stay accountable. I'll narrate a quick story about this. In 2007, in Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg, in 2007 World Cup in T20, I think you must have known. Cricket fans would know it for sure, but others also might know this legendary story. In India versus Pakistan finals, and the last match we were playing, and then there was a steep target of around 150 plus runs, and Pakistan had to get 13 runs in the last over, and Misbah al Haq is in his full form, and he's hitting sixes like anything. So getting a 13 run in the last over of a T20 did not seem so difficult. It was almost a loss for us. We were literally losing that game, and the cup was lost. The World Cup was gone from us forever. And Dhoni was the captain. He did one crazy thing in the last over. He did not call Harbhajan Singh, which everybody expected and predicted. That's a logical thing. Experienced bowler. So he was expecting to call Harbhajan. Everybody was expecting Dhoni to call Harbhajan Singh. No, he did not call it. He called Joginder Sharma. That guy, he came, young fellow, unknown fellow, and it's a huge risk Dhoni took. It's not only a risk, but that gamble proved to be so right. He took the wicket of Misbah al Haq, and that gave the victory to us, and we took the World Cup in 2007 in T20. Now, that single decision of Dhoni changed the course of the game, and we got the World Cup. Now, this could have gone either way. He could have succeeded, he could have failed. This decision could have gone wrong also. But then he took a very strong and a courageous decision and he succeeded. And of course, even if it had gone wrong also, immediately after that, in an interview, he says, it could have gone wrong also, and I would stay accountable for it. That even if it is a failure, it's on me. And that he has done it in many moments, in many failures. Also, he has taken it on himself. The thing is, what we are trying to say is, you have to show courage. You cannot always go by what the world tells you. The average of the opinion of the rest of the people around you is never the best decision. That is at the best a mediocre decision. So average is mediocrity. And the best decision is always an outlier. It is not being recommended by many because people lack courage. If you really want to make a courageous decision, don't expect for acceptance from your peers. Don't expect for acceptance from your family, friends, and all of them. Or don't accept from your colleagues the acceptance. Courageous decisions does not, this doesn't mean that you should not go for a consensus. You should hear all their opinions because you should seriously give it a thought. But end of the day, if you strongly feel there is a decision, this is the right way to take, you should be courageous to take the decision also. Because the average of people around you is only at best a mediocre decision. So decide courageously and stay accountable. Don't run away from your responsibilities. So we really respect this trade and we encourage this trade big time. And again, exhibit thought leadership, carry yourself pretty well, read, and read. I talked about at least 4 or 5 books, and I'll be talking about more also. Make sure you have a reading habit. The habit of reading doesn't need to be directly physical books. It can be from Kindle, it can be from digital PDFs, it can be in any medium, it doesn't matter, but read. Because reading is a extremely intellectually stimulating and a thoroughly preparing process which gives you perspectives, because you are trying to consume the wisdom of this world and make sure that you have that open mind to look at the wisdom of the world. Because what you learn by yourself is very limited. What you learn from the rest of the world is enormous. Only when what you have read from this world, when connects it with your experience, that becomes a wisdom. So make sure that you read. If when I say read, I'm not talking about your academic books. Academic books you have to read. That is why that is your only purpose. You're in the college and you will read. There is no second thought about it. But read more than that. Read anything. Don't have a limitation in terms of reading. Read fiction, read Tamil books, read Tamil fiction, read other language fiction, if you know, non-fiction, or mystery writers, thriller writers, science fiction genres, history, anthropology, mankind, genetics, medical, health, education, just doesn't matter. Politics, anything. Read anything. The more you read, the better you discover yourself, you better become a better human yourself, and the better individual you become, and the better you will carry yourself, the better human being you will become. So people will automatically observe your leadership, thought leadership, and respect you. When you read, you don't have to boast about it. You will show it. That will show up. That will automatically reflect on your personality. So don't stop reading. Make sure it's a habit. This is another characteristic trait that we respect in our organization. This is called as being frugal, do more with less. It's a very classic experiment. This is from the book of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This is by Stephen Covey, very famous author. It's a 40-year-old book, but fantastic book. Stephen Covey has written it. This is called as the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And he talks about how you should fill your day. You see, which is the best, highest resource that you all have in your hands? Time is the most important resource all of you carry. So he gives this example on how you should manage your time. He says, if you put your, if you look at this first jar, all of you will think this is full with stones. And after some time, if he puts some smaller stones within the same jar, and then he fills it even more. And after some time, he puts some sand in it and fills it, and then still the jar takes some more. And then he fills water, and the jar still takes more. Now, what is the example? What does this tell us? This jar is like the time for a day. In a given day, this is what we are allowed with, this 84,000 seconds or 24 hours or 3,600 minutes, or this is what you're all made of. Everybody's made up of. But when you make up your time, if you spend your time first, like filling, for example, he compares these stones and the big stones and the small stones and the sand and water for different priorities we have on a given day. For example, this big stone is about your life mission. So what do you want to do for your career? What do you want to do for your parents? What do you want to do for yourself in life 10 years from now, 20 years from now? So if you do something about what you have, what you want to do about 20 years from now, that he calls as a bigger stone. If you want to do something for 1 year from now, you want to do something, you want to accomplish something, then that is what he calls as a small stone. And then if you want to achieve something a month from now, for example, there is an exam on these days, and then you want to do something about it in a 1 month's time, so that he calls what those activities as a sand. For example, in a 1 week horizon or a 1 month horizon, what do you want to get done? That's what he calls a sand. And in a single day, what you want to get done, the things of much lower priorities, he calls it as water. You want to go for a movie? Does the movie help you in 10 years from now? Does the movie help you 1 year from now? Does the PUBG game help you from 1 month from now? No. So if you make sure that your day is first filled with the biggest priorities like life priorities and then the health priorities and happiness priorities, then automatically you find place and space for your PUBGs and games and trivias also. But the sequence of filling should be the other way. You first take the important priorities of your life, then your casual priorities of life will automatically find place to it. He never says no, but he just talks about the sequence. Just reverse the sequence. What we do, we fill water. We fill our day with all kinds of trivial things. We just get a plate. We don't care. We just casually browse internet, casually go and browse on the TV, then chat, then play a game, then mindlessly chat with friends, and then go for Insta to everything we need. And then we figure out, are we doing something for our health? No, we don't have time. Are we doing something for our 1 year from now? No, we don't have time. Of course, you will not have time. If you fill your time with all the things which are not relevant, then automatically you will not have time for something important. But if you fill your time with something important, then automatically you'll have time for trivial things also. This is what do more with less. And we respect it. We respect people who have this frugal nature. And there is another thing called as grow profitably. And all of you might think, what is this? This is another culture our company really lives by. Profit is not a bad word. Profit is everything. So business is built on profit. And unless you understand this mantra of how to build profit, because profit helps you train the people, it helps you invest on the future, profit helps you give the future growth, it gives you sustainability, it gives you a rainy day, there is in a bad day, cash reserve. These are all the things which gives sustainability for an organization. So profit is very important. So those people who understand what is profitability, why it is important, how to generate profit, these are the people who are in big demand in an organization. So make sure that you understand this idea of profit and you stay committed to this idea. The ninth culture that we talk about is change. Embrace change. Change is very, very important. Everybody has fixed paradigms. All of you think when we say you have to be ready for change, you think I'm ready for change. No, none of us are ready for change. We all have strong beliefs and strong faiths, and we all have very strong-headed thought process that we believe in what we believe in. So when an opposite idea comes in, we immediately fight it. We defend our position. We refuse to accept. We fight it to the tooth and nail and make sure that that idea gets failed. But those who embrace change, those who are open for the new ideas, those who are willing to converse, you see, if you are willing to have a conversation about your ideas with an open mind with your colleagues or friends or family or whoever it is, that is when you are embracing growth. Embracing change is embracing growth. So we as a company, we really respect this as this culture, and people who are open for dialogue, open for new ideas, open for new things, we really respect them big time. So this is another culture. And the culture number 10 that we all celebrate and pamper is the outcome-driven execution. There is a book called as Execution by Ram Charan. Ram Charan is a great professor in the American Ivy League institution. I think it's Kellogg's. I'm not sure which institution, but I believe it's Kellogg's. And he talks about outcome-driven execution, which means there are many people who will be ready to take responsibility, but always come back and say excuses. So in execution, the most important point of success for a leader is in an execution that leader never gives excuses. They don't accept reasons. Why you did not study for that exam? Yeah, it was raining. Yeah, because I could not get the book. My friend did not give me the book. The teacher did not take that class. The notes were bad. The the professor is a nonsense professor. He doesn't know that subject. We have 1,000 reasons not to say and not to get our execution done. You see, people who take responsibility and people who do not pass on the hurdles to the rest of the world and give excuses are the ones who succeed. I have seen time and again people who take ownership for execution, who take ownership for getting things done, are the ones again and again grow. They are the ones who become leaders. They are the ones who become successful entrepreneurs. They are the ones who become successful, whatever, be a celebrity, be an actor, be a doctor, be an engineer, be a professional, be a leader, be a CEO, be an entrepreneur. It just doesn't matter. Execution is everything. If you are going to give excuses for things going wrong, you will never get to anything in life. I'm sorry, guys. If you are somebody who's going to give an excuse, I'm sorry, you're not going to get anybody anywhere. If you take ownership for your outcome, you get anywhere you want to. So, ownership and outcome-driven execution by responsibility taking is extremely important. And we respect people who walk the last mile and make an impression. What do I mean by walk the last mile? It is all about the stamina. Within yourself, all of us will start 100 new things. It doesn't matter how many you start. What matters is how many you finish. So today you joined a course for a Python course or a music course or an instrumental course. It just doesn't matter how many you start. I tell you, what matters is how many you finish. People who finish are the ones who make a difference, not the ones who keep starting things and then dropping it along the way. I don't care even if you don't start anything, but even if you start only one thing, you must be a finisher on it. You will start 100 things and you don't finish anything, I'm sorry, it's worth nothing. So learn to build a habit of finishing. Only the finishers are respected. Only the finishers are celebrated. Not the ones, me too, who did participate. This is not a bragging thing. People who do things for the sake of bragging gets done nothing. So sorry. So make an impression, walk the last mile. So walk the last mile means you have to be a finisher. And the last culture that we love to celebrate is make your journey count. So which means respect people around you, have fun with the people around you, have moments of glory around you, have moments of happiness around you, indulge yourself in small pleasures of life, have fun to the core. It is not the destiny which matters. Everybody tells you that the destiny is very important. Yes, destiny does matter. Destiny is equally important, but what really remains in your brain forever in your life is every step of life, the fun element that you had in your life, the happy moments you had in college, the happy moments you had with your friends, the happy moments you had in your parties, the happy moments you had with your professors, the colleagues. These are the happy moments that you should enrich. Don't keep running for the tomorrow. Tomorrow will definitely happen. It is important, but the moment is more important. So live your moment, make your journey count, build lots of relationships, build lots of friendship, build lots of aspirations, work hard, play hard, win hard, and enjoy hard the life. So life has got everything to offer. Before I close my speech, I would like to say something. There is a book by Angela Duckworth it's called as a I forgot the name of the book. It's a mindset. Name of the book is called this Mindset. That book Mindset talks about one profound statement. Everybody is betrothed. Everybody's given by nature certain set of potential, certain set of characteristics, traits, and certain set of elements. And it is you who can influence and make a difference to what you got to the spectacular heights. It's like a game. All of you understand the rummy game, right? So what you are dealt with is like the rummy game. In a rummy game, you get a cards, and those cards is what you got. You can't do anything about the cards. Sometimes it might be great, sometimes it might be average, but that doesn't matter. Each game you have seen that people who turn even the worst of the cards into the best of the wins, right? So if you are somebody who has the right mindset of a growth mindset, in the book she says you can create a spectacular outcome even if you have a bad cards dealt for you. Life is like that. Not everybody is good looking, not everybody is tall, not everybody is intelligent, not everybody is sharp, not everybody is extraordinarily great looking, right? So we all have our own shortcomings, but this is what we are born with, this is what we are dealt with, this is what we are given, this is what as nature has given us. But it is in your hands to make the best out of it. No matter what the nature has dealt to you, how you make it to the spectacular limits is in your hands. So that is how the mindset, it all is all about the mindset. If you have the growth mindset, anything is possible. Okay, so this is what I would like to leave these words with you, and all of you, my best wishes to achieve the spectacular journey in your life, spectacular success in your life. Go all distance, aspire the best, get done anything and everything that you want in your life. So my best of the wishes to all of you. Be a great student, be a great professional, be a great human being, be the best of what you do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful, session. It was mind blowing about all the cultural shift what the students required at this point of time and every point of time. All the 12 cultures, starting from the friendship, which impacted you to start this, venture. It's really amazing. And considering the time, we will take some questions, sir.
Sure. I'm sorry. I wanted to finish earlier, but I think I dragged myself in a few of the topics. But I'm sorry.
But whatever the explanation or given by you, there was amazing feedback from the audience that excellent example for every culture you discussed. So we will take some questions, sir, for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
So one of the questions is like how time management and prioritization plays major role in my professional life.
Oh, that's everything. Everybody in life gets only 24 hours. Please remember, this is one thing, it's absolutely equality. There is no difference. Rich man to poor man to everybody, it's absolutely, this is equal. Absolute leveler. What you make of, let me tell you one thing. Every single day, remember this rule. Let me take, there are a couple of examples I'll tell you. You know what? Elon Musk, all of you know. Elon Musk is the founder of Tesla. Elon Musk tells he just has, all of you talk about, taking the list in a day. We write lists, right? We tick the end of the day and then say, tomorrow I'll carry forward some. And then I write a list again and then I tick them and then move it for the next day. So this is a very normal habit. We all do, right? Or we have to-do list. We have notes. We have to-do, Microsoft Do. All kinds of tools we use to make a list. Elon Musk writes only one line for a whole month. Can you believe it? Just one line. He writes one line for the whole month. That's the kind of attention and the focus he gives for that one line. And when you put that kind of extraordinary differential effort on that one line, You make the difference happen. Now, if I ask each one of you, what is your one line for the next month? I'm sure you have 100 line items. I don't think you have one. Then keep asking yourself, which is my one? Keep asking yourself, which is my one? Keep asking yourself, which is my one? Keep asking yourself again, which is my one? No 2, 1. No 5, 1. No 10, 1. So this is how you arrive at your priority. So prioritization means not giving focus to everything at the same time. It's useless. You cannot focus on everything. Don't cheat yourself by saying, I'm going to focus on this 10 things. You're not focusing on anything. If focus means one thing, can you write that one for the month? Forget it. Can you write that one for the week? Forget the week. Can you write that one thing for the day? Start with the day. Just write today. No, I'm not going to get 10 things done. I will get this one thing done. Start with that habit. And then you will see magic happening. Then you will start accomplishing more and more and more. So that's what this prioritization is all about. Understanding clearly what is the most important thing for me. Today, if I have to write only one thing that I will get done, what is that? Then you will get it done. That's what this priority is all about.
Fine, sir. We'll go to the next question. What aspects of business is Gen Z already impacting?
Oh, yeah. Today, the world is run by Gen Z, guys. And let me tell you, they are amazing. We are building a product called the K-Turn, and it's only the Gen Zs who are building it. And the kind of grasp they have, the kind of comprehension they have, the kind of extraordinary ability they have is very impressive. So today, the whole company, in our company, if you look, the workhorse for the company is completely Gen Z. All our IPs are built by Gen Z. All our most advanced AI, ML, and RP initiatives are being done by Gen Z. So Gen Z, nothing is impossible. Guys, you're rocking and you will rock.
So moving on to the next, what do you value most about your culture and vision?
Add the first one, which I said, the relationship. Relationship is something we really respect a lot. We build relationships. In our company, we are known for building relationships. And we expect, I was telling this to your chairman, Sriram. So building relationships is everything for us. We invest on people who respect relationships, who respect friendship, who respect kinship, who respect to stand by others. Whether it's like one for all for one. If you're willing to stand by your colleagues, if you're willing to stand by your peers, if you're willing to stand by your supervisors, we are willing to stand by. What is a company? A company is just made of people. So if you're willing to stand by the people, we respect it. So that's the most important culture: relationship, culture, friendship, relationship, kinship. That's the most important for us. If you're not willing to invest on relationship, if you think that if I invest in relationship, I get bonded and I don't want this bond, so that I cannot move to the next company, please don't even step in. I'll be happy not to even consider us.
Moving on to the next, soft skill, time management, confidence, curiosity, updating yourself with current trends of technology is enough to be a great professional.
Well, you cannot box them to it. All these you said is very important, but there are more that takes it. As I said, what you said are important. It is all essential, but you need more of them. As you said, go back and read through the 11, 12 culture elements I said. That's what you need to become a professional.
Okay, so next one. What is the difference between graduated student and professional within the bracket student, professional student? I think he tries to mean that the newly joined onboarded student.
See, all said and done, the student life is a little bit uh, less responsibility. You see, there is nobody. Yes, your parents are demanding and your parents are expecting something out of you. They expect you to study, that's it. There is no financial responsibility, that you're not responsible for money. Yes, you get money, but you spend it, that's it. But when you get to the job, that's when you start defining your future. That's when your parents are going to say, hey guy, now you're standing on your own leg, you better take care of yourself. That's when money starts flowing in your hands, and that's when you become responsible. That's when the pressure or the expectation or the demands of a professional life will be much, much higher than the demands of a student life. What you get as a professional is the demands will be 10 times higher, maybe 20 times higher. So you should be prepared for that kind of a responsibility. That's the difference between a professional and a student. So you are getting into the life, man. So you are stepping into life. So life is tough. Life is cruel. Welcome to the cruel world.
Exactly, sir. So we will end up with the last question. Tell me about an accomplishment that shaped your career, and what should our focus to start our own venture?
Sorry. Can you repeat that?
Uh, Tell me about an accomplishment that shaped your career, and what should our focus to start our own venture?
Yeah. Um, I don't know. Ever since my inspiration was my mother. So my mother, she was a housewife, of course, a housewife from Dindakal, but she was always an entrepreneur in her journey. So which means she was trying to make all kinds of business to make the ends meet. She used to stitch. She used to sell mushrooms. She used to sell saris. She used to sell pickles, whatnot. Any typical average middle class housewife tries to earn that couple of bucks extra. So my mom's attempt at the entrepreneurship was immense. So she kept on trying it forever. She did at least 10 avatars. And probably that has left a deep impact on me to take the journey of the entrepreneurship. And ever since I was a school student, I always used to uh, in those days we never used to call it as entrepreneur, we used to call it business. And if business, I want to be in business. So that were the terms that we used. I did not know entrepreneur is a very glorified sophisticated word which I learned long after. So I wanted to be in business. I wanted to do business. I wanted to start a factory. That's the kind of aspirations we had. And so that was always with me. There was not one defining moment or an incident which changed. It was just in me. So that's one. Second thing is, you asked me, what is it that you should look for to start your own venture? Look, you have to have courage. I told about this in my speech also. You need to have courage. When you make a move from a professional to an entrepreneur, the probability of failure tremendously increases. There is a chance for you to fail. There is a chance for you to become a failure. There is a chance for you to become a useless fellow. The chance for your parents to say you're useless. The chance for your sibling to tell you're a waste. The chances for your friends to say you're useless, you're worthless. The chance for your staff to look down upon you. The chance for your professors to say, that fellow is a waste. So this is the risk. If you're willing to take this risk and battle it out, don't think the moment you become an entrepreneur, it is going to be bed of roses and life is going to open all doors and then you go to the glory and then next day you are Shivnada. No, it doesn't work like that. So if you're willing to face a failure, think about this, live this, think what your parents will tell you, that your parents will tell you that you're a failure. Your brothers and sisters will tell you, hey, you're a waste. Your friends will tell you, they will look down upon you and say, your staff or professors will tell you that you wasted your life. If you are prepared to take all these in your mind and of steel to withstand, go for it. If you're prepared for a failure, go for it. But if you can chicken out, puny heart, weak heart, please don't. Stick with a job, do a job, 9 to 5, earn your salary, plan for your pension, plan for your retirement, have a nice life, enjoy.
Well said, sir. Thank you so much for your wonderful session, and definitely the points, the cultural aspects what you discussed will at least change one person's life. So that will be the success of this webinar. And I thank you all the participants. Almost we got 926 participants at the peak time, and 906 participants are at the average time of 1 hour. So that's a good sign, and I thank all the participants for being attended this webinar. And also I thank Mr. Maran sir for in spite of his busy schedule, he has given almost 1 hour, 1.5 hours with us. Thanks for this giving back to the society whatever you learned and whatever you come across in your life. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you very much.